however that works. Hi, I'm Moorlander, and this is Moorlander EDC. Must apologise, it's been a few weeks since I've made a video, so just had some stuff going on with work and stuff, been a busy. Thought today I would make a video on the Leatherman Skeletool. Now this is one of the first Leatherman tools that I ever had, and bizarrely, and nearly, we're now over 20 videos in, it's the first time that I've thought to make some content on it. Now that's not necessarily because it's not worth it, but there's just other little bits and bobs that have just snuck forward. And this is one tool that I genuinely do use quite a bit. So it may even be one of those you can't see the wood for the trees kind of moments, because I've just not thought to review it. But here I am today, and as I say, yes, we're going to look at the Leatherman Skeletool. So the actual tool itself, if you can see here, comes with a nylon sheath. So I'll just put that to one side for now. There's nothing certainly special about that. It's got a hook and loop on the front, elasticated bits on the side. So if you've got extra bits or tools, you can slide those down there. There's a small hole in the bottom and a belt clip on the back. But other than that, it's fairly standard. But the Leatherman Skeletool itself. Skeletool, because it's skeletonized, you can see hopefully that there are lots of cuts that have been, lots of extra metal that have been took out of the tool itself, both front and on the back, to help with weight reduction. The tool itself is made from stainless steel, and there are parts of it that are aluminium. Again, just to make sure that they can reduce down the weight of the tool. I'll go into the weights in a minute, and also to compare it to some other devices that you probably know of, or other tools that you know of, just so you can see exactly how much weight they've been able to, that Leatherman have been able to shave off with this. But just some extra points before we go into it. The blade itself is a 2.6 inch blade. Sorry, I might have just knocked the table there. 2.6 inch blade, which is 6.6 centimeters from tip to the bottom, to the the Spanish notch in there. The overall length, when closed, let's put it around that way, is 10 centimeters or 4 inches. Sorry, and the weight comes in at 5 ounces or 142 grams. Now, just to put that into perspective, two other very popular Leatherman tools, possibly one of the most popular Leatherman tools, is the Wave itself, or the Wave Plus. Now this is 7 different tools, all in the one multi-tool, and it comes in at 142 grams. I tend to use grams, so I'll apologise if I'm not using ounces, but that's, that's 5 ounces. If you were to take the Wave Plus, that has 17 tools, which is 10 extra tools, that comes in at 8.5 ounces or 241 grams, which, as for an extra 100 grams on a tool with an extra 10 tools, I think that's quite a bit. But also, as I say, it just shows what the engineers at Leatherman have been able to do by just taking off some of this metal on the front and the back to reduce the weight. Another popular tool is the Surge. Now, again, so that goes up to then 21 tools. The Surge weighs 12.5 ounces or 335 grams. So that's nearly twice the weight. Well, it's over twice the weight of what you get here. And for me, this is what the beauty of the Skeletool is. It gives you just enough that you can do your day-to-day things, but you've not got the extra things that you would get on one of the other tools where you're getting 10, 15, 20, 25 different tools on there. But for me, there's just enough here that keeps me coming back to this tool. So to go through the different things that are on here, as I mentioned, we've got 7 different tools. So the first one is the actual knife edge itself. So this is the Skeletool, and this has a combination of a straight edge and a serrated edge. There are different versions of this. So you've got the Skeletool CX, which has a complete straight edge. Then you've also got the Skeletool RX, which has a completely serrated edge. These come in different colours as well. The RX is really designed for emergency services, so there's some extra things on there, and the scales are red. This is the all metal version. I believe the RX comes with a some of the parts that in this are aluminium. They are carbon fibre, so you get a nice silver and black look to that, and there also are some other different coloured variances with this all metal version. You have a coyote tan and black version, and you also have a black and silver version, but it's mainly the scales, these bits around here, and the actual body of the tool that change, and that's where the colours are, apart from the tan and black, because you've got the bits of tan, and then the actual tools themselves are black. It does have a line locker. As you can see, there's a little lock there, so you have to push it down to get it back in. So legality within the UK, strictly speaking, it is not a UK legal carry, but with the strange grey areas that we have in the law here, if you were, say, I don't know, a technician for something, and you had this clipped onto your belt, as long as you had good enough reason to carry that, then it's safe if you were stopped by the police. But generally, it depends on the policeman whether or not he's going to take it off you or not. Going through around the outside, then that's it for the actual knives itself. There are no other knives on here. It's just that one knife here on the outside, whereas others you'd have possibly different knives, and you might have files and that sort of stuff. It's just the knife on this. On the back there is a little clip, which isn't deep pocket carry, but you can take that out if you want to. There's also a carabiner style clip on the end, which is nice and springy, and this also works as a bottle opener. In fact, I think on there you can see there's a little bottle sign, but you can use that as a bottle opener. When you open the multi-tool up, you get the main thing that most people come for, and that is the pliers themselves. So there's a couple of different types of pliers on here. You've got some needle nose pliers, which are very strong, and the grips on them are nice and strong as well. You don't get a lot of slippage unless it's something that you're applying a lot of torque to. You've got some normal pliers here, which again, what I find with this is these are very adequate tool, the pliers themselves. If you need something that you've got to have a real hard grip on, to get some torque to be able to spin round, I have found in the past that they do slip from time to time. Now that's not necessarily a bad thing, because if you wanted something that you could do that sort of stuff with, really you're going to get yourself a dedicated pair of pliers, or maybe something like the Nipex kind style that you can get the smaller versions of as well. They're super strong, and that's what they're designed for. But you get the best of both with that. The downside is that if you're going for super torque, it will slip, but on the positive side, this is something that is only 142 grams, was it? Did I say? Yeah, 142 grams that you can take, and really you're not even going to notice that it's on your belt. So needle nose, normal style pliers. You've also got some wire cutters. Hopefully if you can see in there. Wow, that was very noisy. You've got some wire cutters, and then as you pinch these together, you can also see that you've got some hard wire cutters there in the corner as well. Haven't really used the wire cutters, but I've definitely used the hard wire cutters, and I can definitely say you can cut through some quite thick wire with these. But the action to them, as you'd expect with Leatherman, it is. Let's move that out of the way. I keep knocking that. It is super smooth. I use this enough, but not enough that I really have to worry about care with it, or tool care or maintenance. It is definitely used, but you know, once every 6 months I'll just put a little bit of oil on it. I tend to oil some of the blades. I know you don't really need to worry about rust because it's stainless steel, but you know, I generally like to do that sort of stuff anyway. But it's, for me, I don't use it enough that I have to make sure that this stays oiled, but oiling it once every 6 months is perfect. It's still nice and smooth. There isn't a spring mechanism on this, so you have to move it in and out with your hand. It won't just push itself back open. So whether that's something that is or isn't attractive to you, you could go for one of the other models that does have a spring, kind of system in there. Now the last little things to point out here is that you also get a bit driver here as well. So if you're using it or you need to use it, for that you can close it up and you can use that as a bit driver. What you have two. Sorry about that. It's magnetised in there, and there is another bit here hidden away in the scales. So they fit in here at the end, and what you've got is you have a number 1 Phillips head and a number 2 Phillips head, and then you also have a 3/16 and a 1/4 inch flathead screwdriver at the top as well. Now the bit that it fits into in here, hopefully that's still staying in focus, so when I push that one back in, I'll put that one away for now. There we go. Oh, I'll just leave it there because I'm fumbling. These bits are compatible with the bit kit that you can buy separately, so they're all interchangeable. And also, if you find that maybe you're not using the flathead bit driver instead, you could take that out and you could replace it, because they all fit. They all fit back into this section here, which I was putting it in the wrong way before, wasn't I? There you go. Maybe should have practiced that beforehand. I tend to keep this number 2 Phillips head screwdriver in there, more so, not because I use that one more than I use any of the other ones, but because it's just a little bit more rounded. You have a flatter end and then you've got these bits in there. So when I'm using it for the pliers, this bit curves around, which hopefully you'll see fits around there, which is quite a nice design to it, so that when it goes in, it still goes flat across that bit. So I find it's really easy to put my hand in there. You could use it that way, but I just don't find it follows the contour of my hand as well, whereas like that, this section here does, and I prefer to hold on to that. So this, if you were to think of this as a hot point, it doesn't really dig in, but if that was a right angle corner from one of the flathead screwdrivers, I think it possibly would do if it was something that I used it a lot for. Now to close it back up, hopefully you can see, so there's that curve that fits into this recessed curve there. So as it closes back up, it all fits in here, so that it follows this kind of contour as well. Has quite an organic kind of look to it. If I was turning that, wow, that was really noisy, sorry about that. Has quite an organic look to it, because you have these holes in it, and then you've also got this kind of curve across there. I mean, I don't think you'd ever look at a Leatherman tool and go, wow, that is a sexy tool. But I think as far as tools or Skeletool or Leatherman tools go, this for me is one of the nicer looking ones. I always get to this point at the end of the video and I try to think if there's anything that I'd change about it. What I would possibly think about changing, and this is only my own personal preference, other people might look at this and go, no, it's perfect, I wouldn't change anything. If I was to change anything, maybe I would replace this bit driver. If there was a way that maybe, say, this bit could get took out so that you could have some scissors that went across the back there instead. So if they could fold out, or there was a way to fold those out so that you could use some scissors at the end here, and that you wouldn't have to open the tool to be able to get those out. I'd love to see that. I find generally that I tend to use scissors on these sort of tools a lot more often. In fact, we've got the Pioneer X. I use the scissors on this a lot. Link to video is up there. So if there was a way that they could get some scissors onto this, I think that would be really good. Thinking about scissors, actually, I've not really thought about this. And I don't even know if this would work or whether it would be a selling point, but if you could somehow replace the pliers with a type of shear or some shears that also worked as scissors, I think that would also be really good. But I think what we're doing there is we're completely changing what this tool is then and turning it into the Leatherman Skelly shears instead, which would be a completely different range for Leatherman. I generally do like this tool. I think it's brilliant. For me, it's got the best of both worlds. What you get is you get that manufacturing expertise that you get with Leatherman. You know, it's a family name that you absolutely trust, that when you get one of these and you get that 25-year warranty, something goes wrong with it, you know, you get onto Leatherman and, you know, they will sort you out. These are great tools. But the best bit for me is just the sheer weight, or well, at least the lack of weight. You can strap this, you can throw this into your bag, you can strap it to your belt, you can do so much with it because with the 7 tools that are on there, and it weighs hardly nothing. 142 grams really is nice and light. Cool, well I hope you liked the video. This was quite a short one, I guess. I've not really been keeping my eye on the time, but don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Check out the rest of my videos. I've started putting some end video cards on the end here just to give you some ideas of all the other content that I've got. What I've also been asking this year a little bit more is, you know, if you want to share these videos through your social media feeds, that would be great. It will help to support the channel. And also in the description below, you'll find some affiliate links. Now here in the UK, that's for Amazon UK, where you'll be able to find, you'll be able to purchase this. But what I've also started to do is I've started to use some North American or USA affiliate links. You'll be able to find those in the description as well. Any sort of subsidies that I get through my affiliate links are ploughed straight back into the channel to build my reviews and my community. So, you know, everything is appreciated there. Brilliant. Okay, cool. I might even try and do another video after this one. Stay safe, stay Moorlander, stay DC.